right, thank you guys for hanging out with me. This is In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell, and we do our best to talk about other stuff. You know, the stuff that the mainstream media is not talking about because, well, it's not advantageous to the Democrat Party. Welcome. Glad you could be here. Again, this show is pre-recorded today only. We usually do this live. I'm heading up the mountain here in Arizona, heading up to Flagstaff area. It's called Williams, in a place called Arizona. So we're going to hang out and have a great time and raise money for our charity, which is Wildlife for Tomorrow. And I say our charity. I apologize. I'm the vice president of Wildlife for Tomorrow. We are the official 501c3 fundraising partner for your Arizona Game and Fish Department. There we go. All right, let's get to it. You don't see a lot of Joe Biden anymore. Joe Biden is a lame duck president. Joe Biden is just a walking bag of bones. Joe Biden is gone mentally, and oh, Mike, you can't say that. You can't speak that way of somebody who's going through this dementia, Parkinson's, or whatever he's going through. Yes, I can. When your wife throws you up into the global spotlight as the leader of the free world and keeps parading you out as if you are actually doing something, I'm not feeling sorry for you, dude. I'm not. I mean, it's a time where your ego has to step in and just say, stop. It's time to stop. It's time to hand the keys to the White House over to Kamala Harris. It just is. And at least we have somebody that, there's a lot of at least we have somebody that just still don't fit, even when you're talking about Kamala Harris. So anyway, Joe Biden last night leaving the White House, of course, going to Delaware. It's time for beach vacation. It's time for his beach vacation. Again, no president in history has vacationed more than Joe Biden. That is the truth. That is a fact. You can fact check me on that. No president ever has not been at the White House more than Joe Biden, except for pre-White House presidents. I get it. You guys, I'm telling you. All right, Joe Biden leaving the White House and chatting it up with the press, and his handlers and the DNC is like, why? Why do we let him do this? Listen to this. Listen to this. If you have people that have lost loved ones in the storm, if you have people that in Hurricane Helene, if you have people that have lost their homes, their businesses, their livelihoods, and are just struggling on their $750 stipend that they got, well, listen to this.
The storm zone need, Mr. President.
Okay.
What did you say? What did you say?
States in the storm zone need, Mr. President.
Okay.
What are the states in the storm zone? What do they need after what you saw today?
Nothing.
Oh, in the storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering what storm you're talking about. Yeah, oh, storm zone. Oh, yeah, I was wondering what storm you're talking about. Is this disgusting? I was wondering what storm you're talking about. Literally, states are leveled. Entire towns are leveled. People are dead. Bodies are there and not been recovered. And he goes, oh, I was wondering what storm you were talking about. What an ass.
They're getting everything they need. They're very happy.
They're very happy. They're very happy. Full support. This useless bag of bones. Think about that. They're very happy. And what he's talking about is the only people that they let him talk to, which are Democrat politicians that are kissing his just bag of bones booty. Yeah, I like that one. His bag of bones booty. And, oh, Mr. President, we're so thankful. We're so thankful for all the relief that you're giving us, which is nothing. But you have to say that to fall in line with the DNC. It's gross. It's horrible. It's horrific. What's happening? People the reports are just absolutely unbelievable. And to have that worm, that little twerp, Alejandro Mayorkas say, that they don't have enough money, that FEMA doesn't have enough money for the next storm because they've spent it all on migrants, illegal migrants. That, again, like we saw yesterday with them coming over they'll have their papers in hand. They know exactly what to say. Why are you seeking asylum? Somebody is trying to kill me. My government is trying to kill me. I'm in fear of my life. Done. You say that right out of the gates, you're good all the way through. But anyway, $1.4 billion of FEMA money has gone to migrants. I'm talking $2,200 a month, medical, everything they want. Free plane ticket anywhere they want to go. Yeah. Can you imagine the first time that these bozos, these illegals, try to get a ticket somewhere? I'm sorry, I'm talking about the absolute nefarious pieces of garbage that are coming over. I'm not talking about all migrants. Settle down. Can you imagine when the first time they go to buy a plane ticket, they're like 200, 300, what? How much dollars? What are you talking about? Why do I have to pay for a plane ticket? Watch. Be shocked at that. But now we don't have enough money. So we got to go to Congress, tax dollars now go, oh, well, because next storm, we have to. We have to. We didn't have to with the migrants, but we did. But what are we going to do? You guys going to be mad at me? You guys going to be mad at the Department of Homeland Security? Going to be mad at FEMA? You're going to be mad at us because we spent on migrants when we got a new storm coming in and people need help? You're not going to give them help now? It's disgusting. That's gross. It really is. And for the man who still is the president of the United States, which blows me away that he's still the president of the United States, says, what storm? I didn't know what storm you were talking about. And then there's Secretary Mayor Pete. Little Petey, who was on a meteoric rise in the Democrat Party, and now he's just a joke. He's a laughingstock. When they decide the DNC rigged the election for Joe Biden, I'm sorry, the primary election. Don't please YouTube, Facebook, don't throw me. I'm telling you, when they rigged the primary, which it's documented, for Joe Biden, when they kicked Mayor Pete out, said we're going to get you a high-ranking cabinet position, and then you're next in line, bud. You are going to be president of the United States someday. Then they give him transportation secretary, and he falls in his face. He's a joke. He's a laughingstock. He's a punchline. This absolute ass. And you guys know when I start talking about this storm, I get really fired up. I'm sorry, when I talk about the government response to the storm, I get really fired up. Secretary Mayor Pete. I'm just going to let you listen to this asshat. Listen.
Is to make sure that funding is no obstacle to very quickly getting people the relief that they need.
That's your goal?
There's also
wait a second. I'm sorry, Secretary Mayor Pete. Hold on a second. You said that your goal is to make sure that the people are getting the funding. Is not we have the funding ready. The funding has been we have been prepared for this. The funding is there and available and accessible right now. Not a goal. It's not a goal of yours. It shouldn't be a goal of yours. It should be a done of yours. It should be checked off your to-do list. I know there's several other funny things on the to-do list, but the to-do list needs to have preparedness for a storm. Going back to Secretary Mayor Pete.
Issues that come up. For example, temporary flight restrictions to make sure that the airspace is clear for any flights or drone activity that might be involved in helping to.
Yeah, meaning that private citizens can no longer run a drone over their property to see if they have anything left because they won't let them in, a la Hawaii. They're not going to let them in, so they got to run a drone. Can't do it anymore. Got to shut them down. As a matter of fact, the drone, the reason why they're shutting drones down, look at him. He's so concerned, this ass. So they want to run drones over so they can film bodies laying in the road that aren't going to be touched by the government, or no cleanup efforts, none of that stuff, and all the destruction that has happened. So they've shut flights down. If you got a helicopter, you got a personal helicopter, you got a private plane, cannot go over the wreckage. Can't do it. They've shut we the people down and try to make it look like, oh, we're just trying our best. Look at his old face there. We're trying our best.
Allow those emergency responders to do their job.
They're not doing their job. They're not allowed to do their job. They're in a stand down order. The National Guard is on a stand down order. They aren't getting bodies. They aren't helping people. They aren't sifting wreckage to find survivors. Nope. People are dying by the day. By the day. And this bozo, and this is what I want to show you. This is actually the reason why I brought this up, because it's important to me. The reason why I brought this up is I want you to watch it. Don't listen to what he says. Matter of fact, I'm going to mute it. Watch him move his head. Do you notice something when you see him move his head? Do you notice something? This isn't a Max Headroom kind of thing. I just want you to notice. Look around. Look at his ear. Look at his ear. He's got an earpiece in. I get it. And you should. By the way, you should. It's not like he's getting fed the answers. When you do TV like that, this is what you do. But look, he's at home, y'all. He's at his house. He's not at his office. That would be a great backdrop, right? You guys, he has a virtual background. He has a Department of Transportation virtual background on his Zoom. He is at his house. He is not in his office. That, again, would have been a perfect backdrop to, look, I'm here, I'm working, this and that. Nope. Could have been the storm damage behind him. Nope. He has a virtual background because these punks aren't doing anything. They're not working. This is the most do-nothing, diverse cabinet, DEI cabinet in the history of presidential politics or electoral politics, period. Holy crap. This is embarrassing. He is on a virtual screen. I'd be surprised if the dude had a suit pant on. I'm going to say suit pant just in case Grizz pops in. Suit pant. Holy mackerel. I mean, my brother's out there. Brother Steve is in South Cackalack. And he's like, dude, we got rocked. I mean, everything's fine, some down trees and stuff like that. But, we know people, and it's awful. It's absolutely awful. I'm glad I said that. He shot me a call last night, like late. He's on the East Coast too. I should probably call him, see if brother's okay. Just absolutely absurd what the government is doing. Now, here come the conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theories are something about lithium mining. So here's what we're saying. The storm damage that has leveled entire towns are being, this is the theory. I have not gone into this. I just wanted to prepare you for what you're going to hear. Basically, the government's just taking it over. Like, this is a natural disaster. This is a disaster area. We're declaring a disaster area. Here's the money for your house. You don't have to, go somewhere else, but you can't be here. Whatever that meant. I got to go home because there's no home. That's a bad statement. But why would they do that as a government? Well, lithium mining.
Of Gaston County homeowners are trying to prevent a proposed lithium mine from digging any further.
Now, by the way, this is prior to prior to the whole storm. This is a news cast prior to the entire storm. But this is the same place.
Back in 2019, we first told you about Piedmont Lithium's plans to mine one of the world's most abundant lithium deposits a few miles east of Cherryville. The chemical element is critical to power our cell phones and electric vehicles. But as WCNC Charlotte's Brandon Goldner shows us, neighbors fear the mine will cause irreparable damage to their environment.
Okay, which is okay. We'll do this.
Piedmont Lithium insists they'll be good neighbors as they extract the lithium from rocks like this. But homeowners...
Okay, before we get to that, media's dead. Y'all, media is absolutely dead. They get this jabroni right out of college, and he does this.
Good neighbors as they extract the lithium from rocks
like this. The dude picked. Okay, God, gee, just why? Who's teaching these people
like this? But homeowners here believe the company will only cause harm to this land.
B-roll.
The biggest reason why Will Baldwin loves visiting his grandparents' Gaston County home is all the things hiding in plain sight.
All these little places and home sites have interesting and so much historical value.
Piedmont Lithium also loves what's hiding in this part of the county.
This is the most amateur newscast I've seen in a minute. Holy cow.
Except what they find valuable can't be seen to the naked eye. This area is home to one of the world's most abundant lithium deposits.
There you go.
And as more people buy electric cars, that chemical element will be critical for batteries.
Dramatic.
While these electric cars are seen as beneficial to the environment, Baldwin fears Piedmont Lithium's plans for an open pit mine will damage the environment around his grandparents' neighborhood. He's worried any dust from the mine will get into the nearby Beaver Dam and Little Beaver Dam creeks, which flow directly to the South Fork Catawba River.
Mining is extractive, and they're basically taking value out of Gaston County. It just doesn't seem like they're going to be good neighbors like other companies could be.
In a lengthy statement, Piedmont Lithium says they intend to be good neighbors, and they've been working with several agencies and organizations, including the Catawba Riverkeeper, to ensure their...
And by the way, working with means paying off, just so we're very clear.
Quote, proposed operations will not have a detrimental effect on waterways in our area. But Baldwin, his grandparents, and other homeowners believe the company's efforts won't be enough.
This guy's so annoying.
As the company still needs to submit applications and rezoning requests for the mine.
Okay, shut up. Okay, so here's the deal. God, that guy's annoying. That is one of the biggest lithium deposits in the world. That area that's not getting any help, that the government is not allowing people in to help. that is not that the government is giving people $750 and sending them on their way, telling them that they cannot go back to their home or business. I watched a video yesterday of a woman. It was terrible video, but it was a woman trying to get to her small business to get her stuff. They wouldn't let her in. They wouldn't let her in, just go get her stuff. She's like, I need to get my stuff out of there. And she said, before the crackheads get it. It's true. Do you imagine? You imagine the cashing in right now, just homeless people and drug addicts out there just going like, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take this, I'm going to just looting the place. But people can't go in there and get their own stuff. You can be a criminal. You are very, very happy in this area. So going now we're dealing with lithium. But this is the dumb thing about that, and I'm sure you caught that too, is that you need lithium for your cell phones, your laptops, your electric vehicles. You need that. It's very valuable to have. They were saying it's going to ruin the environment. Anyone catch that? Did anyone catch that? It's like everybody doesn't know. The Democrats and liberals and green hippies have no. They have every idea, but they want to go la 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 la. I don't see it. I don't see it. I can't hear it. I don't know what you tell me about it. About children making 50 cents a day mining cobalt in the People's Republic of Congo. Condo. I said it's pre-recorded. It's early. Holy mackerel! It's 7:00. Hold on. Mm-hmm. All right, sorry. People's Republic of Congo. Making a 50 cents a day to sit there in a mine in diapers, essentially, and just in pull cobalt out of dirt. You don't want to know about that to make those electric car batteries. You don't want to know about that. No. Lithium, though. You see them all the time. They say lithium-ion batteries. This is what they're talking about, the lithium needed. So to make things green, you have to pollute things. Yeah, when we saw fuel prices rise the way they were, do you know what? In record number, coal usage. We the people had to turn to coal for fuel. We had to turn to coal for fuel because gas prices were so high. So we have actually made, with the Biden administration jacking prices of gas up, and I got to go fill the Falcon up to go up to Flagstaff. It'll cost me $100. So the use of burning coal and making our environment dirtier and more carbon emissions because you're trying to force people to buy electric vehicles, forcing the gas prices up. Always unintended consequences. I remember, Queen Bee was telling me a story when she was when she had her first or second child. She wanted to, kind of be a good steward of the environment, and have cloth diapers. Okay, didn't want to have the throwaway Huggies. She wanted to have the natural Huggies, and then realized quickly, A, what a pain in the ass it is, but B, that we live in Arizona, and water is precious to us in Arizona. How much water are you wasting just to clean your dirty rags that you're putting around your kid's booty? Always an issue. There's always an issue with any of this green moves. You're polluting the earth more to get to some green utopia that you're probably going to crush the earth getting there. I was talking to an engineer yesterday, and I really want to tell you about this guy because he's a pretty cool dude. But he was talking about, when you go to San Diego and you see on top of the hill, you see the windmills. You go through the desert in California, you see the windmills, and those are supposed to be really cranking out some power. But you notice that some are moving and some aren't. This is the dumbest thing. Do you know those things that brakes on them? That when the wind is too abundant, when the wind is too powerful, they shut themselves down because they'll break. Because the blades will break because the blades are too fragile. Because remember, you had to have a super light blade because you didn't want to use a lot of energy because you're trying to make energy. You're trying to save energy, store energy, ship energy. Yeah. Those things are useless. And think about this. Just the wind, just those windmills alone. You think about not only the fact that we have not discovered a really what we can do with those giant blades, They haven't found a way to recycle those suckers. And so that's a big problem. I've seen some cities use them as park benches. I'm not kidding, which is fine. Cool. If you want to repurpose them, great. Fantastic. But the problem is they're made in China. They're made here. So you have a tanker going to get the blades that are going to save the environment. A tanker just polluting the ocean all the way from here to China, loading up, coming back, polluting the ocean from China to here. And then you throw the blades on, which last about 5 to 7 years, and then you got to throw the blades away somewhere in a landfill. Saving the, but you made electricity. It's the dumbest thing. It's literally the dumbest thing. I'm blown away. But anyway, okay, let's get off of that for a second because I met a really cool dude. I want to talk to you about this. I met a guy the other day walking Aussie that was out. He had a MAGA hat on. So I knew he's one of our peeps. He had a MAGA hat on and he was canvassing. And so, of course, I stop him. Poor Oz. He was like, dude, I thought we were going to the park. Are we not going to the park? So I sit and talk to this guy. This guy was doing two things. One, he was canvassing, which just absolutely blows my mind because I've said for years and years and years that the Democrats outplay us each and every year. They've got a better ground game. They're out there registering homeless. They're out there registering illegal migrants. They're making sure that the Democrat voting base is higher than anything we could possibly imagine or do legally. And yes, I know that, like I always said, my dad voted Republican his whole life and he's voted Democrat every year since his death. Anyway, but the guy was doing something smart. He said, I'm taking this little, I got painter's tape. And what I'm doing is I'm painting a golden ticket onto what I'm like, a golden ticket. What the hell is that? And actually, let me see if I can grab it. Hang tight. Yeah, I even left you on a pre-record. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We're good. Hey, I couldn't find it. Anyway, what it was, they called it a golden ticket. It was a golden piece of paper. Hello. It was a golden piece of paper, and it had everything basically how you should vote as a Republican and conservative. I'm like, okay. He's like, oh, I wouldn't use that. You know who's going to use that? A lot of people. But anyway, he was taping it to the numbers, on the door. He's like, he can't canvass anymore. He can't, you know, these Ring cameras and all that. He's just, nobody answers the door. Anyway. So he said, I'm going to tape the golden ticket, but he had a list. He said, I'm not putting this on every house. I'm only putting this on a house that has at least one registered Republican in the house. So people actually don't just throw it away, get ticked off, whatever. You know, you don't want to turn people off to voting your cause. So at least have one Republican. Oh, they probably put this on because Dad, here you go. Mom. Genius. I can't tell you how encouraging that was to me. I really can't tell you how literally encouraging that was to me. I felt good after our very lengthy talk. Yeah. Is that we introduced ourselves and he recognized me from KFY. And I was like, okay. So then it became James T is about this. I was like, okay, come on, guy. I got to go. My dog wants it. My dog's dying to get to the park. I'm holding a chuck it with a ball in it. He's like, yo, stop talking. Get to walking. Less talking, more walking. Yeah. But he was kind of worked his way up to the head of the precinct that he volunteers to vote be a poll worker. And he was telling me about the 2020 election. He said it's absolutely blinding. 2020 and 2022. He shared a couple of stories with me. When the Dominion voting machines show up, or the tabulating machines, whatever they were, he said they're just in plastic crates. They're not secure. They're not locked. They're not even padded. They're just like, fine, whatever they break down. We don't care. Because of course, lower vote totals favor the Democrats. So he goes, he said they just come in there. He said when they set up, he said there's supposed to be a Republican and a Democrat running each of these places, which we know is just a bunch of shenanigans. But because I can go register Democrat and be one of the Democrats in one of the polling places, which we should have done. We really should have thought that one through. Yeah, maybe we'll do it next time. Anyway, so he gets his camera. He's an engineer. He worked out at the nuclear power plant for his whole career. So he's an engineer. So he understands what can be and what can't be. He's got a mind for that stuff. He takes his phone when all the machines get set up, and he takes his phone and he puts it under the machine. He's looking for some sort of a transmitter, Bluetooth, something that could transmit what is in that machine or receive information into that machine. Smart man. Okay? Smart, and I would do it. The Democrat poll worker, Democrat poll boss lady, he had a very, very detailed description of her. I said, you can't do that. What are you doing? He's like, I'm looking for any side of transmitting device. And she's like, you can't do that. You cannot do that. And she was freaking out. You cannot do that. He's like, the hell I can't. I am. So obviously the Dem side was already like, hey, you can't look for anything, the recording devices or anything we have in here. You can't look for that. Obviously already up on edge. I'm not saying anything happened. I'm just saying this is the story I was told by the man who was there. So later on in the afternoon, they remember this. I hope you remember this. They ran out of pens. Do you remember this? We ran out of the pens, the official pen that you can use for it's like the damn number 2 pencil in the Scantron, right? But they ran out of pens. And he's like, well, we need pens. We're out of pens. And he said, hey, listen, I just called my wife. She's heading to Staples. She's going to grab it, or Office Max, whatever. She's going to grab it. She's going to come bring it. The Democrat lady said, absolutely not, putting my foot down. It has to come from the state. The pens have to come from the state. We've already made a call. The county, excuse me. We've already made a call. They're going to bring some in. I'm not kidding. She said, you cannot bring normal pens because the county's going to send you normal pens, but they just have to be from the county. So we have to wait. So the option was that people can just stand and wait, or they could fill out an absentee ballot. This lady shut it down. Normal pens to be used. They're little marker, little felt pens. Normal pens. Fast forward to the end of the day. He's boxing everything up. End of the night. He's boxing everything up. This is election day. And then he gets a box that's by this lady. It's on this lady's feet. What do you think that box had in it? Boxes and boxes of pens. He goes, what the hell is this? And she goes, I don't know. There's a green box on the screen that you could check when things go wrong in somebody's ballot. Now, let's say that you can pick, there's like a list of judges, say, and you can pick 2, and say you pick 3. So what that does is it flags and says one of the sections is wrong, and it tells you the section's wrong. Now, you have 2 options as a voter. You can click it and say, yeah, I really don't care about that. Just move on. No big deal, right? And the other stuff is super important to me. Or you can start over with a new ballot. Okay? Those are the options. Magically, in both elections, the voting machines, when you hit the button, you had to just go ahead and ignore that or whatever. No. Just didn't work. It was just disabled. Nope. Just kept pushing it. So their option was to go fill out a new ballot. Everything you do. Want to talk about voter suppression? This is absurd what I was hearing. But it gets worse. I'm not kidding. It gets worse. The end of the night. As we know, there needs to be a chain of custody in everything that you do with the ballots. That basically, he said it's not a thumb drive that you get all the data on. It's a big, bulky, unit that you've got to pull. You've got to seal it off. You got to make sure it's all done. You can't tamper with it, whatever. And then a Republican and a Democrat. I don't know if you remember this from election night. A Republican and a Democrat needs to be in a vehicle together, and they need to take those to the tabulation center. Okay, you're aware. Okay, so again, I'm talking to my man here, and he's like, I was the boss. I was the Republican boss, and there's he again, a very not flattering description he gave of the Karen that was the Democrat poll boss. And he said, okay, hey, listen, I'm the only Republican here, so either somebody can ride with me, or I can ride with y'all. Let's get this thing over to where we need to get it done. Let's get it done. Let's pack it up for the night. Great job, everybody. Thanks so much. Here comes Dem Karen. You know what Dem Karen had to say? Dem Karen said, we don't need you anymore. Then he said, no, this is what we have to do. This is by law. It has to be this way. She goes, no, I'm a registered Democrat. My husband is a registered independent. That qualifies. And her husband got in the car, and took off. This dude, he said, I wrote a 3-page report on this. He goes, and nobody said a thing. Nobody even called me. He goes, it's absolutely scary what is happening. He goes, the Republicans need to show up in such force, in such numbers on Election Day that they can't do it. It's unbelievable. I mean, I know Adrian Fontes, who's now our Secretary of State, scary as that may be, because he cheated and literally cheated in the election. Remember the pop-up emergency voting centers? Yeah, because Michelle Reagan had voting down to an art. Can't have that. So we're going to make chaos and put this emergency voting centers. And by the way, Adrian Fontes is a socialist. If you know him, if you know anyone who knows him, unapologetic. He's a redistributing Democrat socialist. He isn't a cheater. And it's funny because I did mention to the guy that was canvassing, I mentioned, as much as that was evil what Adrian Fontes did to get Kyrsten Sinema elected, kind of glad he did. I know it sounds funny, and I know Kyrsten. Y'all know I know Kyrsten. If he hadn't done that, we wouldn't have a filibuster. If he hadn't done that, this country would be much different. Now, he did it because he's a socialist whack job, and he thought that Kyrsten Sinema would be a socialist whack job and not save our system of voting and governance. But she did. Her and Manchin. If Adrian Fontes hadn't been the slimy little worm that he is, the cheating ass that he is, Kyrsten Sinema wouldn't have won that election. She was not going to beat, in Arizona, a Prada socialist, pink tutu wearing, military protesting Prada socialist. Was not going to be the first female combat pilot. Not going to. Nope. Adrian Fontes bucked the system and set up all these emergency polling centers, which you didn't even have to show ID, and got her elected. Had he not, be a whole different world right now. Scary, isn't it? We'd have probably 13 justices on the Supreme Court right now. We would. The court would be completely stacked for the Democrats. Unbelievable. Because it's Friday and I've kind of been on one this week. Hopefully, this Arizona trip kind of brings me back down to where I need to be. I saw one of the worst cases of child abuse. One of the worst cases. Now, I'm being facetious. One of the worst cases of liberal whack job parents making liberal whack job kids that I've seen in a hot minute. I saw this and I selected it for download so I can distribute it to you, not because I hate you. I love you. It's just every now and again, we need to realize that these people are hiding in plain sight. These people are not the pink-haired, super, uber pierced and tattooed faced people that are just thinking that, yeah, anarchy, socialism, communism is the way to go. These are like normal looking families, except for mom. Mom's scary looking. Soy boy dad is exactly what you would think. You would look at this guy right away and absolutely right away know that he is not going to vote for Donald Trump. In the name of the Partridge Family, the Bradys, and wacko lefty progressives, I give you the Democrat family from hell. I'm not apologizing. Oh, look at Brass and Keys. Oh, this kid's on drums. Oh, mom's on morale. Here we go. Listen.
When old Donald used to run the country,
yep,
he saw division, tried to build a wall.
He made a few of his people wealthy. Oh, he don't care about the rest at all.
Psycho.
He's got convictions. He did the nasty and undermined the
Wait. She said what?
At all.
Wait, well, he what?
He's got convictions. He did the nasty.
He did the nasty. I know there's no coming back from this, guys. We are in this together. We're holding hands. Listen to me. We are in this together. We're holding hands. We're going to get through this. We are holding hands together. We got this. Come on, kids. We got this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here we go.
And undermine the Constitution.
He's an oppressor of civil liberties, megalomaniac Republican.
Wow.
Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala. Give me hope, Kamala, for the election.
Wait, wouldn't what's that guy's name from CNN? Yeah, wouldn't he be absolutely livid right now because they're pronouncing Kamala wrong? They're calling her Kamala. Oh, and all of this they wrote the music. The music actually sounds like. Do you remember when they used to have like those Panasonic keyboards or those Sony keyboards, and there was a demo mode, and you would hit the demo button and you'd pretend like you're playing? Am I the only one? Okay, whatever. I can't be the only one here. Whatever. Get back to these people.
Give me hope, Kamala.
Give me hope,
Kamala. Hope for beating Donald Trump.
You see, she's safer than him with money.
She's safer than him with money.
She'll try to regulate the sale of guns.
Are y'all seeing this? She'll try to regulate the sale of guns. These pansy is okay.
She's bringing measures that offer hope,
not fear, access to healthcare and abortion.
Abortion.
We know this
get it, Dad. Dude, are you trying to sound Jamaican? I'm not getting this.
With climate change and immigration, don't want a president of the USA.
This is hurting my eyes.
Who's dangerous to everyone. Oh.
Hey, intern Nooch, can you go in the garage, give me some battery acid? I want to throw it on my eyes. I want to be out of here. How do I do this?
Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala. Give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala. Hope for beating Donald Trump. She's got a father who's from Jamaica.
Oh, that's why.
She had a mother who was Indian.
She
Mom's
wasn't
crazy.
born into fancy money.
No, communism.
But had a good education. Well, you could vote for a weird fella.
This is great.
Who
Come on, guys.
Bloodbaths and civil war.
But it's a bad move to trust in the wrinkled husk.
Oh, wrinkled husk.
Tumor that went off before. Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala.
Okay. I'm not going to. By the way, there's 3 more minutes of it. I'm not going to do it to you. If there's no greater representation of liberal progressive families. There's no greater representation right there than that. I always say that, there's poachers and idiots in my outdoor and hunting and conservation world, and they give us all a bad name. And they don't represent us. You would think that liberals and progressives would say that they don't know. Liberals and progressives will welcome these bozos, these slappies with open arms. I cannot believe what I just saw. That's fantastic. This has to be satire. This has to be like a conservative. If I didn't see the dad looking like a spineless soy boy, I would. The fact that they made 4 children, I'm blown away by this because I know how it works. At least I've been told. Yeah, give me hope, Kamala. No, Kamala. Yeah, they said Kamala. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to do it to you. No, we're going to do it. I have my finger on the button right now. If this were live, if any of you were acting a fool, I'd just keep playing this. Holy cow. Before we get to our decompression session, let's talk quickly about Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi just doesn't care. And I just found this. I don't know if this is recent, didn't have a date on it, but this is Nancy Pelosi explaining their tactic, the smear. I'm blown away that she's just that. I understand she's a criminal. I understand she's just absolutely evil. I get it. And I just realized, I realized that we just have the Go Show signage on the thing. Yeah, again, pre-recorded. Sorry, my bad. But watch, I can fix it. I think I can fix it. Let me see if I can fix it. Let's see here. Let's see. Watch this. Nope. Watch this. You can do it. Booyah! Look at that. See? All right, late in the game, but it's okay. I'm a second half guy. Yeah, I play better in the second half of the game. Anyway, here's Nancy Pelosi. Check this out.
the rest of it. So they don't want them to see that contrast, so they focus on something else. And it's a diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident.
I'm gonna have you listen to that again, because if you notice, Bob attacked me again. So here we go. Listen to this tactic.
And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident. But I think I'm worth the trouble.
Nancy Pelosi just explained exactly how they take out their opponents with a wrap-up smear. They make something up. They lie. I can't believe she said this. They lie, and then they report it. They leak it to the press. The press reports on it, and then it's out there. It's out there as truth. Then they capitalize on it. I think she marketed, branded, whatever it is, and they use it to their advantage. The wrap-up smear. I want to hear. I mean, I understand that
Hospitals and the rest of it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident. But
blown away, absolutely blown away. I don't even know what to say. I'm so blown away on this. She just basically, this is how this is politics. All of it is a lie. We make stuff up. And if you don't make stuff up, you got this.
Give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala. Hope for beating Donald Trump.
Yeah, sorry. So almost not sorry. Now I'm just toying with you. Okay. All right. Let's get to our decompression session as we need to get moving up the hill. Again, thank you all for letting me pre-record this, and hopefully you guys have been having a good time discussing amongst yourselves over there in the comments. I am a huge Bill Murray fan. I think Bill Murray is a comedic god. I think he is truly one of the funniest humans that ever walked the earth. And he's amazing. And I love Bill Murray. I did not know Bill Murray said this, but this has been resurfaced as it is almost an endorsement. I'm sure Bill Murray's press person will come out and say, "Oh, that's Bill Murray said that in 2016." Okay, check this out. If you like Bill Murray, like I do, you'll dig this.
He's just such a different character than anyone that's ever been a president of the United States. I think this is what this vote means: is that the country is dissatisfied with the way that Washington has worked for the last couple of decades. You know, they're lazy, and they're about inhibiting the other side. They're not about working together at all. And it's sort of become such a national disgrace, a quiet national disgrace.
Mm-hmm. Bill Murray knows why you and I are drawn to a Donald Trump. Bill Murray knows and understands that you and I are tired of Washington, D.C. You and I see the wrap-up smear all the time on Donald Trump, and we know what they're doing now. We know how they do it. Cat's out of the bag. Toothpaste out of the tube. This is a all-out lie that we receive about everybody. It makes you question it, too. Even on the Democrat side, you're like, did that person really do that? Is that Democrat really like that? Or is this just a wrap-up smear? Now you absolutely trust nothing. I think that's a good place to be. I think a good place to be this weekend is to really recalibrate your thinking and go, you know what? I don't believe anything. I don't care. I just don't believe it. I'm being lied to. So I hang out with Mike every day on In Other News, and we just we talk like grown-ups, so we try to figure all this stuff out. That's why I want to try to be different and try to figure this stuff out and realize what a smear is and what isn't. Okay, so everybody's jumping on the bandwagon with the second gentleman right now, Emha. Anyway. Mr. Kamala Harris. And said that he beat a girl on a date or something like that, smacked her until she spun around or something like that. And he beat staffers or something like that. I could be a wrap-up smear. I have no idea. Don't know who to trust. I mean, look at him. I honestly, I look at that little twerp. I don't think that guy has an ounce of rage in him. I think he has more fear than rage. But he might be one of the crazies, you know. I'm sorry, did I say crazy? Did I say crazy?
He makes up lies like an angry
Did I say crazy? Yeah.
Seeking attention from the media round.
Chopper going down?
Oh, he may deny the facts, but like beats on Max, he's just an 80s tape that's wearing down.
80s tape is wearing down.
The law is beneath
Okay.
his
All right, y'all, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and have it in the background. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Don't hate me. I love you. Have a wonderful Have fun this weekend. We'll see you on Monday. And I can't even concentrate on this. I got to stop this. Holy mackerel. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday at noon right here on In Other News with a report on if I got eaten by a bear or not.